everyone, it's Rich Dallas here for another episode of Q&A Sunday. I'm excited to bring you a couple of new questions this week. My name's Rich Dallas, Berkshire Hathaway, the Dallas-Fincham team, and again, it's Q&A Sunday where we answer your questions here every single week. So if you have a question, put it in the comments below, shoot me a text, email me, whatever you gotta do to get it to me, get it to someone on the team, and we will answer it on a future episode. Today's three questions: the assessed value versus the listing price. Are they related, and how are they related? How can the value of my house go down? And this is going to piggyback off of last week. So last week we answered the question, how many bridges are there in Pittsburgh? And we found out that Pittsburgh has the most bridges in any city. Today, we had a follow-up question this week. How many tunnels are in Pittsburgh? We're going to answer that one later. All right, jumping into the assessed value versus the listing price of a house. Those two numbers have zero correlation to one another. You want your assessed value to be as absolutely low as possible because that is what your taxes are based on. Your tax assessors do not come into the house. They do not evaluate if you finished your basement and you didn't tell anybody because you didn't need a building permit. If you have redone your kitchen, and again, you didn't need a building permit. Those are the types of things that a tax assessor is not going to see. The same effect could work with, did you rip out your kitchen and not replace it? Did you rip out flooring and not replace it? So the value of your house from the outside could look really fantastic. So when the county assessor drives by and you have a great curb appeal, and your inside of your house is destroyed because whether it's dogs, pets, kids, or whatever, there is a possibility that your assessed value could be higher than the list price. It's absolutely 100% possible if the inside of a house is deteriorated. So those are the short answer is they're related, as in they're apples and oranges, but they are unrelated because you want your assessed value to be low and you want your list price to be high. And ultimately, the appraiser is going to come in and he's going to be possibly the one that makes the determination of the value of the home. We can list a house for anything. You can tell me you want $700,000 for your house. I have a client who has, and it's only worth $350,000. I can list it for whatever price I want, but that doesn't mean that we're going to get that value. So that's kind of how the two of those relate to one another. We had that question come up a lot lately because we did list a house that was under its assessed value, and we had agents, actual agents in our marketplace call us and say, are you sure that price is right? And it was. So question number two. Is it possible for the value of my house to go down? Absolutely, 100%, yes. Is it common? No, of course not. But if you, again, this is tied to that last question. We had a lot of people ask this because of that assessed question. Yes, it is absolutely possible that you let your house run down, and the value of your house, if I come to your house on January 1st, and I come back 3 years later and you've done nothing and you've done absolutely no improvements and the house is just kind of crumbled around you, yes, it's 100% able to go down. I have a recent example where I sold a house to someone 8 years ago, and they had all the aspirations in the world to do all the repairs and all the updates and everything that the house needed, but they didn't do any of that. So when we listed the house, we had to list it at the same price as what it was when we sold it to them because it hasn't improved in value. Even though we've had years of appreciation, we were able to maintain the value because of the appreciation, but we didn't increase the value because of any sort of improvements because, again, the house just kind of deteriorated around someone. And again, if you have a house that sits vacant for too long, that's going to happen even faster. So if you do have a house that's vacant, make sure if you don't need that house or you're not planning on renovating it or doing anything with it, get rid of it. Call us. We'll help you out. But again, So yes, it is possible for the house value to go down. It doesn't happen very often because most people, want to keep the value of their house up. Now the last question, this one's a tricky one. How many tunnels are there in Pittsburgh? So last week we now know that there are 446 bridges, but tunnels is really, really tough because the records of tunnels aren't as accurate, because you could talk about pedestrian tunnels, you could talk about transit tunnels, just automobile tunnels. So there are 7 major tunnels in this area, but really there's only 3 that everybody talks about. So we've got the Squirrel Hill tunnels, we've got the Liberty tunnels, and the Fort Pitt tunnel. So those are the main 3, but we also have Armstrong, Wabash, Stowe, and Corliss. Those are some lesser known tunnels. I mean, everybody knows Wabash because it's never open, and everybody knows Armstrong because it's right in downtown. It goes right underneath Duquesne University, so that's kind of cool. But the 3 main tunnels that Pittsburgh has is the Liberty, Squirrel Hill, and Fort Pitt. Again, we talked about the Fort Pitt tunnel last week and how it is the entrance to Pittsburgh. If you ever get a chance and you've never been to Pittsburgh, that should be the first way you come to it. Now, the Liberty tunnel is actually the oldest tunnel in Pittsburgh. And then the Squirrel Hill tunnel brings you in from the east side into the city, which is also a fun little drive. But that's enough for Q&A Sunday this week. So the list price and the assessed value, you want the assessed value to be low, and they can be unrelated. I've shown a house that was assessed for $62,000 and it was listed for $1.2 million. That's crazy, but that's because it was assessed on the land and then they built a house. Easy to explain, but crazy when they're not related like that. And absolutely, your house can go down in value, but call us and we'll tell you how to bring that value back up and make the renovations that you need and to get you top dollar. And as far as tunnels, I don't know if we're ever going to know the true answer of that question. I saw 14, I saw 5, I saw 6, but 7 is the number of automobile tunnels that are in the city of Pittsburgh that I could find as a most reliable resource. So again, don't take it to the bank, but it may be the right answer. All right, everyone, this was an episode of Q&A Sunday. I'm really excited. I hope you had a great 4th of July yesterday, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Again, if you have a question that you want answered, put it in the comments below, shoot me a text, reach out to somebody on the team, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.